Tennis is a psychological cage fight where you aren't allowed to touch your opponent. It is the loneliest sport on the planet. In boxing, you have a corner. In football, you have teammates to share the burden of a mistake. In tennis, you are on an island. There is no one to pass the ball to and no one to sub you out when your lungs are burning and your mind starts to fray. The silence of a tennis court is heavy. It amplifies every negative thought and every insecurity you've tried to hide. When you walk out there, you aren't just facing a player, you're facing a mirror. Every shortcut you took in the gym and every moment of mental weakness will be exposed. The court is a courtroom and the verdict is always final. You have to be comfortable with your own company, even when that company is toxic. You must find a way to save yourself, because the only person who can help you is the one you see in the reflection of the trophy. This is where a champion's architecture is built. It's not about the racket, it's about the spirit that wields it. You have to develop a relationship with suffering and learn to love the isolation. When the stadium is full, the only thing that matters is the conversation you're having with yourself. If that conversation is full of excuses, you've already lost. You are the captain and the crew. If you leak, you sink alone. Welcome to the loneliest game in the world, where your greatest enemy isn't across the net, he's inside your own head. You must kill the version of yourself that wants to quit before you can even think about beating the man standing on the other side. Everything in tennis is a geometric puzzle solved at 100 miles per hour. It's not about hitting the ball hard, it's about hitting the ball where your opponent isn't. It's about the math of the court and the cold physics of pressure. You are playing a game of angles, and your body is the instrument of calculation. The serve is your opening statement, the only part of the game where you have total control. You spend thousands of hours tossing that ball into the air, reaching for the sky and snapping your wrist, because a great serve is a weapon of pure intimidation. It's a way of telling your opponent that his presence is optional. But beneath the power, there must be a cold, calculating discipline. You have to move your opponent like a puppet on a string, forcing him to run until his legs turn to jelly and his breath comes in ragged gasps. This requires a level of focus that borders on psychosis. You have to hit the same spot on the court until you can do it with your eyes closed, until the movement is etched into your nervous system like a biological program. Most people quit when the repetition gets boring. The elite find the rhythm in the grind. They find the beauty in the data. Discipline isn't a chore, it's the armor you wear into battle. Without it, you're just a tourist with a racket. I want to know if you have that level of obsession. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is the one goal in your life that you are willing to chase until your body breaks? Your ambition is your calling card, and the court will prove if it's real or just a fantasy. You are a machine designed for the repetitive pursuit of perfection. Every step must be calculated, every breath measured. You aren't just playing a game, you are executing a masterpiece of movement and violence that leaves no room for error.
The true battle of tennis happens in the half-second between points. That is the crucible where champions are forged and pretenders are destroyed. When you hit a double fault or miss an easy overhead, your brain will scream at you. It will call you a failure. It will remind you of every mistake you've ever made since you first picked up a racket. This internal dialogue is the most dangerous thing on the court. If you listen to it, you're dead. You have to learn to observe your mistakes without reacting to them. You have to become emotionally bulletproof. In tennis, there is no clock to run out. You have to win the final point yourself. This means you can never relax, never lose focus, and never let your guard down. A match can turn in a heartbeat. One loose game, one moment of frustration, and the momentum shifts like a tidal wave. You have to be a master of your own chemistry. You have to stay clinical when your heart is pounding at 180 beats per minute. This is the sweet science of the court, staying cold in a hot environment. You see the greats, they don't celebrate too early, and they don't mourn too late. They are already thinking about the next ball. The past is a ghost, the future is a dream. The only thing that is real is the yellow ball flying toward you right now. You have to live in the micro moment. You have to develop a memory like a goldfish. Forget the mistake immediately and focus on the solution. This mental toughness is more valuable than any physical talent. You can have the fastest serve in the world, but if your mind is a glass house, a child can break you. You must build a fortress inside your skull. You must become the master of your own silence. If you can feel the weight of this mental discipline, show your respect by hitting that like button. It's the silent nod of one warrior to another. Become the master of your own internal storm. Tennis is often called a war of attrition. It's a test of who can suffer longer. In a 5-set match, the 5th set isn't about skill. By then, both players are exhausted, their legs are heavy, and their grip is slipping from the sweat. The 5th set is a test of character. It's a question of who wants it more. It's about who is willing to stay in the rally for one more ball when every fiber of their being is begging them to stop. You have to embrace the grind. You have to find a way to enjoy the burning in your quads and the blisters on your feet. This is where the work you did in the dark comes to light. While everyone else was sleeping, you were on the track. While everyone else was at the party, you were in the gym. Now, in the heat of the match, that work is your bank account. You are making a withdrawal. If you haven't put the work in, the check will bounce and you will collapse. There are no shortcuts in this sport. You can't fake cardiovascular endurance. You can't fake core strength. You have to earn every single point. This relentless nature of tennis is what makes it so brutal. You have to beat the man across the net, but you also have to beat the clock, the heat, and the fatigue. You become a scavenger, looking for any sign of weakness in your opponent. You watch his shoulders. Are they slumping? You watch his breath. Is he gasping? You feed on his exhaustion like a predator who specializes in long-distance hunting. You don't need the flashy winner. You just need to be more durable than the man standing in your way. Every mile on the road and every rep in the gym was a promise kept to your future self. In the heat of the battle, that promise is the only thing that keeps you standing. You are not just hitting a ball. You are outlasting a soul. There's a strange paradox in tennis. It is a sport of extreme violence disguised as extreme grace. To hit a world-class backhand, you need the timing of a Swiss watch and the power of a sledgehammer. It is a violent rotation of the hips, a snapping of the core, and a precise extension of the arm, all happening in a fraction of a second. If you are off by a millimeter, the ball flies out. If you are late by a millisecond, the ball hits the net. This level of precision requires a calm mind and a relaxed body. You cannot play great tennis with tension. Tension is the enemy of movement. You have to be loose but explosive. It's like being a whip, flexible until the moment of impact. This aesthetic beauty is what draws people to the game, but the beauty is built on a foundation of brutal training. You have to be an athlete in every sense of the word. You need the speed of a sprinter, the endurance of a marathon runner, and the hand-eye coordination of a fighter pilot. You are a multidisciplinary weapon. You must refine your technique until it is art. You study the flight of the ball, the spin, and the way it bounces off different surfaces. You learn the difference between the red clay of Paris and the grass of London. You adapt, you evolve. You never stop learning because the game never stops changing. The moment you think you've mastered it, a teenager with a faster racket and a hungrier heart will come along and humble you. Stay humble, stay hungry, and stay obsessed with the details. The small things are the big things. When the match is over and you shake hands at the net, the scoreline is recorded, but the transformation is what lasts. Tennis changes who you are. It strips away the layers of pretense and forces you to confront your true self. Whether you won or lost, you have spent hours in a state of total intensity. You have pushed your body and mind to the absolute limits. That experience stays with you. It builds a resilience that you carry into every other area of your life. When things get tough in business or in your personal life, you look back at that 5th set. You remember the time you were down a break and came back to win against all odds. You remember the time you felt like dying but kept running. This is the real legacy of the court. It's a blueprint for survival. It teaches you that you are capable of much more than you thought. It teaches you that failure isn't the end. It's just a change in the score. You become a person who doesn't fear challenges, but welcomes them. You become a person who knows how to stand alone and still be strong. The world is a lot like a tennis court. It's full of lines you can't cross, opponents you can't control, and a crowd that will cheer for you one minute and forget you the next. No, as long as you have your discipline, your focus, and your racket, you are never truly lost. If you're ready to master your own internal game, join our elite circle by subscribing. We don't just talk about sports, we talk about the mastery of life.
Stand tall. The match isn't over until the final point is won, and even then, the next tournament is just around the corner. Keep your eyes on the ball. Keep your heart in the game. You are the undisputed master of your own destiny.